waiting for.
We seem to be missing quite a few people today.
It's 7 o'clock.
Emmett's not there.
No,
yeah, two of them are standing in for me at Margate. I'm supposed to be at the Mayor of Margate's
Oh, I see.
inauguration.
7 o'clock.
Oh, is it? All right. Oh, that clock's slow up there.
So I think it is
Oh, what?
7 o'clock. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock now.
Okay, then. All right, okay. Good evening, councillors, and welcome to the Sandwich Town Council meeting of Monday the 20th of May 2024. Item number 1 is the Chair's opening remarks, and I've just got the following here. Tomorrow we have the Confederation of...
Sorry, Mr. I was just counting how many councillors we've got. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, with you. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I was just checking. Yes.
Don't forget that I might be leaving fairly soon.
Sorry?
I might be leaving once my
Yes.
Does this make us think call it?
I'm expecting Councillor Ungerson to be joining us very soon. Councillor Fortescue's just told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll have to stay, won't I?
If you can stay until
please.
Councillor Ungerson, that would
Yes,
be
please.
helpful. Thank you,
Thank you.
Councillor Black. So, Chair's opening remarks. Tomorrow we're hosting the Confederation of Cinque Ports tomorrow to undertake the handover of the speakership of the Cinque Ports. This is a very old and traditional ceremony which confers the Cinque Ports title of speakership on different Cinque Ports each year, and this year it is Sandwich's privilege to take that on, so that'll be happening tomorrow. On Wednesday we've got the Finance and General Purposes Committee at 6:30 p.m. On Thursday we've got quite a large number of activities happening on Thursday, so if you could attend as many of them as you can, that'd be really useful to show your faces. And that is, we have a DDC roadshow from 10 till 2 on the Guildhall forecourt on Thursday, and then we have the DDC play areas site consultation at the Bulwarks play area. That's down on the quayside, and that's 2 till 5 on Thursday. And we also have on Thursday, I believe, we have a drop-in session for the police constable as well during the market time. So I think that would be somewhere around the region of about 10 till 12 for that one. So that's all those ones. And the other thing I want to say about was we had the Civic Sunday yesterday, but unfortunately it was a bit of a damp squib because of the poor turnout of councillors to it. So I just wanted to remind councillors, if you do get invited to a meeting or an event, could you please send your apologies ahead of you, please? Thank you very much. And lastly, this year, one of our goals will be reducing workloads, reducing admin, reducing bureaucracy, reducing meetings, and promoting actions, services to the public. That's what we're elected for, and most particularly the support of the Guildhall staff. So I hope you can understand that and take that forward into this forthcoming year. Possibly the parish charter we're talking about later may go over these points. Thank you very much. Item number 2, Town Clerk, is apologies. Do we have any apologies, please?
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. So apologies from Councillor Sue Chandler, Kent County Council. Apologies from Councillor Dan Friend of Dover District Council. Councillor Lynn Ripley has a travel commitment. Councillor Emmett Suka has a Deputy Mayor commitment. And Councillor Danielle Carter a Mayoress commitment. Councillor Ungerson is going to be late, she's advised, and Councillor Nick Gray is an illness.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, that's excellent, thank you. And item number 3 is declarations of interest, and this is to receive any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest from members in respect of business to be transacted on this agenda tonight. Do we have any declarations? No, that's your return on that one. Thank you, Town Clerk. Item number 4 is minutes of the full council meeting and their committees. And this is to receive the minutes of the Planning Committee meeting held on the 3rd of April 2024. And this is attachment 1A. So do we have any questions on these minutes? If not, then I'd like to have a proposal and second. Are you proposing, Councillor?
Just a quick question, are we using hands today as opposed to...
Oh yeah, beg your pardon, yeah, sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah, so you will be using your digits and your le man.
Oui.
Yeah, n'est-ce pas? Could I have a proposer and a seconder for the minutes? Thank you very much, and a seconder for these minutes. Thank you, Councillor Morehouse. And all those in favour, could you raise your hands clearly for the Town Clerk to see, please?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor
Was there any abstaining?
Councillor, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and that item, those minutes have been passed. Thank you very much. And to receive the minutes of the Heritage and Townscape Committee meeting held on the 8th of April 2024, and this is attachment 1B. Do we have any questions or queries on those minutes at all? Councillor Black, please stand.
Yes, once again, the wrong minutes were issued for January. I raised it at the time, and this says what should have happened, it didn't. And I'm extremely annoyed about it. And I would like it to be to happen next month without fail, please.
Okay then, that's item 04244, is that correct?
So these were the minutes for April we're looking at.
Well,
Yeah.
is it?
It's the April minutes. These are not the
8th of
January.
April.
Yes, but this says that this was going to be changed, and it wasn't changed at the meeting. The document that was issued at the meeting was the wrong document.
Right, okay, I'll take that up with the assistant clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Councillor Anderson. So pleased that you're here. Okay then, so do we have a proposer for these minutes, please? Thank you very much. And do we have a seconder for the H&T minutes? Okay. Thank you, Councillor Tomlins. And all those in favour, please raise your hand clearly. 4, 5. That's 5. I have there. Those that are abstaining.
I just need to know, there's a typo. It says tourism forum instead of youth forum at some point in the minutes, and that needs to be changed.
It does, yeah. Oh, I see, that's 04.24.9, page 3.
Yeah.
Introduction of tourism forum. Thank you very much for that, Councillor Anderson. So can I just reaffirm that this is, we're voting for minutes with the amendment of tourism forum to youth forum. So those that have proposed and seconded it, are you still happy with that? That's good. And the vote will be the same as before. So those abstaining, please, from these minutes.
1.
That's 1.
2.
Thank you much. Anybody
Mr. Mayor,
against?
should I abstain as I'm not a member and did not attend the meeting as an observer?
You don't have to, I
No,
believe.
you don't have to.
You
It's
don't
up to
have to.
you.
No, it's personal choice on that. So.
Okay, so I'll vote for then.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's 1 abstention.
1 abstention from
Okay.
Councillor Black.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so both those items have been passed. And then we're on to item number 5, payment schedules. To receive and note the payments for April that missed the April schedule, totalling £1,396.92. That's attachment 2A. To receive and note the payments for mid-May, totalling £28,250.32. Those payments which are not supported by a minute reference have been authorised by officers with delegated powers of expenditure. And item 5C is to receive and approve scheduled payments for May, totalling £11,408.78. Do we have a proposer for those three items? That's attachments 2A, 2B and 2C.
Could I raise a
Indeed, you can. Please stand.
yeah, just querying the surf and turf gazebos. Is that a private company?
Yes, so that's the company where we obtained the gazebos through the DDC funding,
Okay.
and council agreed to the additional gazebos being purchased for the Saturday market.
And was that company a requirement of DDC?
No, so there were 3 quotes when Dover District Council first gave us the funding. We went to 3 different companies and got the quotations, and that was the company that gave the best value at the
Okay.
time. And council said they wanted further gazebos for the Saturday market, which was agreed. So we've gone to the same contract supplier to get the same product.
They're £564 each, is that?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay.
They are quite sturdy.
Yeah.
They are quite sturdy ones. They come in a zip-up thing with wheels on, don't they?
Yeah,
They
and,
are
and that's with all the additional, the gutters and the weights, leg weights and everything.
So, okay. Councillor Morehouse, please stand.
Is that a company recommended to us by DDC?
So it's not a company.
Was there any preferential rates as
So-
a result of that?
So the company was chosen. We did a consultation with 3 different contractors.
Independently from DDC?
So we got funding from Dover District Council originally for the gazebos we have now for the 12, and then council were asked in the report last meeting, I think, or April meeting, if they would approve additional gazebos and the Saturday market. So that's what the council decided here, and that's why we've gone to surf and turf. So we're getting the same product that we've already got.
So did we have a proposer and a seconder for items 5A, 5B and 5C at all? Thank you. Colin, and seconded by Councillor Morehouse. So Councillor Wiles and Councillor Morehouse. All those in favour, please raise your hand so we can see. That's everybody there. Yeah, thank you. Any abstentions? No, that's good. Okay. And then item 5D is council to confirm nomination of 2 signatories to authorise the end of May payment schedules on Bankline. And item 5E is council to confirm nomination of 2 signatories to authorise mid-June payment schedules on Bankline. I think I'm a recipient of one of those, isn't it? I think it's the end of May one.
I think that's
what Karen told me.
Yes.
So I won't be able to do
No.
5D. Did we have 2 people that could do 5? Thank you for that. Be the end of May. Was there anybody else? Thank you, Councillor Wiles and Councillor.
Thank you. That's the end of May.
And then the council to confirm nominations of the ones for mid-June. I'm happy to put myself forward for that. Was there anybody else that was available to do that? And that's Councillor Carter and Councillor Franklin. Thank you very much. And can I have a show of hands to show everybody's happy with those nominations that have been volunteered? Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. That has been passed as well. Thank you very much. And then item number 6 is what I was going to say was
You want to
there was
move
this item, yeah, because Councillor Black now finished the finance bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay to go
Yes,
ahead?
that's fine.
That's a bit. So, as requested by one of the councillors, there's a request to take item number 13, standing orders working group report, at this present time, to release one of the councillors this evening. So, thank you very much. All those in favour of bringing item 13 forward? Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so moving forward, item number 13, Standing Orders Working Group report. Standing Orders Working Group have prepared a report for the options for STC to allocate councillors to STC committees. The report details various principles and scenarios for council to consider with 6 recommendations. This is attachment number 7, and I believe there's I'll read out those recommendations actually. Oh, you've got them there, have you? Oh, sorry, thank you. So I won't read out the whole document, but the decisions sought are, there's 6 decisions. Should councillors decide the committee staffing, or should the executive decide? So I guess take them one at a time.
I can actually, to speed things up, take people through the flow chart.
Right, I see.
If that will speed the whole thing up, because some people may think this is quite complex.
Right.
It actually isn't, but it's up to you, of course.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I'm just really looking for the decisions that you've requested in your recommendation.
Yes, I understand, yeah.
If that's okay. So please, if you'd all take note of the flow chart that Councillor Black has supplied tonight to assist with your decisions. So decision number 1 is, should councillors decide the committee staffing, or should the executive decide? So I think we need to take that one, we need to take them one at a time, I think, so everything's totally transparent there. So that's the first item. Does anybody want to, Councillor Wiles?
Yeah, item 1, I propose that decision be made at the annual town council meeting, as happened, was it last week or before? That's where it should happen.
Indeed, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, Councillor?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think there's a weakness in this because traditionally, as you know, we've always had mayor making in May, and well, we've had the elections in May, haven't we?
Yeah, we
on
have.
a Thursday, and the
That's
first Monday of May,
Yeah.
the council elect a mayor and chairman of the Torbridge Fund, and then we've always waited till June, the first council meeting. So we've had a month to assess the councillors, especially when there's a lot of new councillors. I mean, sometimes we've had eight or more new councillors on at a time, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
So you have a month. We've always had a month to assess what they want. But now under this new regulations, on the mayor making night, on the annual town meeting, suddenly you've got to nominate all the councillors for the committees. And that's what happened last year. Was the very first time that happened. I mean, it's tweaked a little bit this year, but it does mean that I don't know how you're going to work that out, because suddenly if you've got 8 new councillors coming on, you can't do that on the same night. So I think every election year, this won't apply.
Won't be my problem next year, luckily.
No.
So, yeah. Councillor Black?
Yeah, may I make the point? The first question is not about the when, but the principle. It's not about the when. You can have these meetings whenever you want, and I think you're going to concentrate them, obviously, at the time to time. The first question is, who makes the decision? And that is a rather different item. You establish a basic principle, the timing comes on later on in the presentation.
Well, I'd just like to say, we've always done it traditionally, haven't you? And this year we've done it slightly different, haven't we? Because we've worked on it for a year. And to me, I think it's a waste of time, this working group. I think we worked perfectly all right this past year. We've got these new committees this year, and I just think we should carry on as we're doing. So I think it's been a waste of time.
Is that a proposal?
Well, I think we've done very well with sorting our committees out this year, Mr. Mayor.
Well, that's down to the town.
And down the town clerk, yes. I don't think we need all this committee structure at all. I think we just need common sense with the mayor and the town clerk. People can say what they're interested in, and as we say, especially on that 4th year, it's going to be up to the mayor, and he's only going to have a few days to make the decision, isn't he? From Thursday to Monday, what's going on what committee? So to me, I think we just I'd like to see how it carry on as we have been, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. So was there? So is that? Are you saying that is? Does that be for the executive to decide? As Councillor Black said, we're looking for a decision. So is that what you're putting
Well, I'd
forward?
like to see the town clerk and the mayor at that time.
That's the executive.
The executive to make the decisions.
Yeah, sure. Did we have a seconder for that proposal at all? Is there a seconder for that one? No? Okay then.
I was going to say the other thing, it'll only be the mayor and the clerk, especially after we know what councillors, because people then have to apply, won't they? So it's a matter of 3 days, isn't it, to decide, 4 days.
That's right, yeah, I'm not putting this forward, yeah. Traditionalist, yeah, so okay, so that one hasn't got a seconder, so now we go forward. I've got to go through this as it is in this order, so does somebody else want to put a proposal forward for the first one then?
Well, as I wrote it, I propose that councillors should decide, not the executive.
Okay then, and do we have a seconder for that? Which one? Mark was, Councillor Morehouse was, you were first, and then Councillor Breen, and then Councillor Roll. So, oh yeah, are you seconding that? Okay, so, and Councillor Breen, were you?
Yeah, I was offering to second.
Second, I see. And
Well,
Councillor
I've
Wiles,
seconded twice though.
were you just seconding, or did you have a query?
Seconding, yeah.
Seconding, okay. So
That's been-
yeah, so just go for the vote. All those in favour of that, please show by raising your hands. So that's 7-4. Well, any abstaining?
No, I'm going to vote against.
All right, okay. And those against, please
Yeah, I'm
show.
against. Yeah,
Okay. So that's been passed. That's the first one. Item number 2 is under what circumstances should a councillor be permitted to vote for themselves? Councillor Wiles?
I propose under no circumstances.
Okay, and are we seconding that? And all those in favour, please show. And thank you, that's all right. And then any abstaining or against?
yeah.
Okay, and one abstaining, one against. And then item number 3, should the normal situation be that every councillor sits on at least one committee, and normally no councillor except the mayor sit on more than 3? So, Councillor Black first.
Yeah, I've had representation from at least one person saying that as they want to step back from some of their council activities, they were unhappy about this. We in the Working Party put it as a general principle normally. It should not be a hard and fast rule, and of course it depends on people's work patterns and everything else. I'm really not too bothered about it, but I think what we were trying to do is to make sure that everybody got the opportunity to be on a committee, but of course they may choose not to.
Okay. So, Councillor Wells and then Councillor Anderson. Oh, were you? Oh, beg your pardon, sorry, I didn't see your hand, so I was listening to Councillor Black. Sorry,
Yes,
Councillor.
I just wanted to say that there are some councillors who could make a very good contribution to outside bodies, but may not be that interested
Indeed,
in turning up
good point.
regularly for committees of this
Good
council.
point.
So I think that the two things should be put in balance really.
Yeah,
That we
definitely.
should take account of how many
Yeah.
outside bodies people are
That's
sitting on.
right. Yeah. So, Councillor Wiles and then
Yeah,
Councillor Morehouse.
if you do the maths on this and the number of spaces on the committees, there's 42 spaces. I believe if 2 councillors drop out altogether, which I think is the case this year, that leaves.
But that might not always be the case,
That
so
leaves
that's only
14.
circumstantial.
So that means every council will have to be on 3 committees. So if another one drops out, we'll have to have more than 3. So I propose 4 maximum. Otherwise, we won't get sufficient numbers on the committees.
Okay, Councillor Morehouse.
I regard the objective, the proposal as an objective, not as a target. So it's always going to be flexible
Well, we need.
because of individual circumstances.
I think we need. Yeah, I don't know. It's all getting a bit.
I think we're just discussing Sandwich Town Council and Sandwich Tollbridge Committee. We're not talking about outside committees here, are we? Because there is some councillors that work in that can't make outside.
That's
And
right.
I do enjoy being on. I've stood down from 2 committees, Town Council, which evening meetings
Yeah.
here, but I don't want to stand down from my other outside
No,
committees that I represent
definitely
the Town
not.
Council.
Oh, definitely not Councillor Frampton. Yeah. So, so with item number 3, shall we change this now? What's happening with item 3? Because I'm confused. So,
If I think what people are saying that if we keep it as would aspire to, would normally, etc., that will be certainly from my perspective fine. Not more than 3. I understand Councillor Wiles' point that if 2 people drop out completely, then that is the thing. it was more an aspiration trying to spread the load, because we also want to get less experienced councillors on committees. But I really am not too worried. I think at best you can say that aspirations. I'd be happy to amend that to an aspiration rather than a set of rules.
I'm a little bit worried about this now because it's sort of like becoming sort of changing to the dynamics of the council, isn't it now? I thought this was a set of hard and fast rules. Because the town clerk has actually got to record what's actually happening. So, so item number 3, are we voting on it as it is, or are we changing that now? Can somebody tell me?
To make this simple, I propose we just strike this clause altogether, because if a councillor wants to sit on 5,
Exactly.
and one wants to sit on none, that's up to them. You know, diversity and strength.
So I think we're striking item.
But if that was a proposal from Councillor Wilde, you need someone to
Oh,
second
yeah,
it.
sorry.
I would like to speak against that, actually.
Okay, then. Yeah, please do.
I think one of the points of the reorganisations and committees from the previous situation was to spread democracy. I mean, previously all the committees were chaired by one person, mainly the mayor, and there were some people on the council members who were on every committee, and one or two who were only on one.
Yeah.
And that seemed to me to be an illegitimate distribution of power and responsibility.
Indeed, I agree with that.
And I don't want to get back into that situation, so I would argue against that.
Yeah, but, sorry, can I come back on that?
Indeed, yeah.
In the previous regime, the decision was made by the mayor and the town clerk. We're saying the decision now is made by councillors. So if someone wants to sit on 5 and the councillors agree as a body, then that's what we agree. But if they think they're some kind of megalomaniac and they want to curb their
possibility.
but we as a council will limit that happening.
We are limited.
Yeah.
With your proposal, you're saying just let it all hang out, as it were. People can do what they want.
I think the trouble is we're getting into very detailed rule making, and
No,
it's
I don't think so. I think there is a principle.
Well, we need to get this right because it's a new set of rules that's being brought in. So we've got to get it right and the town clerk has to know because she'll be handing this over to you. So next year, town clerk and I are stepping back. This will be down to you. I won't be dealing with it at all, nor will the town clerk.
what's the town clerk's recommendation?
I think this is getting a bit too ingrained in going over things. I didn't see an issue with it this year at all. I think everybody had a fair say. They had a 2-week period. I thought that was fair, and if anyone had any problems, you know, they could have raised it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think you're getting into minutiae detail here, which, you know, you'll have to obviously deal with that going forward.
That's why I totally disagree with it all, because I thought it worked out very well this year.
So, okay, item number 4.
Sorry, are you going to a vote on that? Are you?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so are we voting on taking number 3 out, or are we keeping number 3?
I propose we take it out.
Okay, and but are you seconding that? Okay, so all those in favour of taking 3 out?
2, 3, 4, 6.
Okay, that's passed. Any abstaining from taking 3 out? Okay,
1,
and
2,
3
3
abstain.
abstain. Anyone against?
Anybody against? I think that's everybody.
Okay.
Okay then. Item number 4, oh that is passed, to take that out, beg your pardon, sorry. Item number 4, should STC agree the proposals for what to do if there are insufficient applicants to fully staff a committee? This is scenario 2.
May I explain?
Yeah, please do.
You have 2 scenarios. If you haven't got sufficient people, to me it struck me, if your committee is still qualified, carry on and still try to send some more volunteers. If your committee is not qualified, the 2 decisions, is that committee worth continuing with, And if you believe it still is, then you should amend the terms of reference. That strikes me as the easiest way forward and the most practical and quick way forward. I can't see it, but committees do have a finite life, some of them, but they could have it. Well, okay, in my opinion, they can have a finite life.
No, they don't.
We agree to differ.
Subcommittees made it, not town council. It's already prejudged this.
Okay, so what are we doing about item 4 then? Are we doing item 4 or are we not doing item 4? What's happening about item 4?
Well, I would support what Councillor Black has just said. If there are too few members in a committee, if it's quorum, that's all right, and recruit a few volunteers, possibly. If it's in court, I think, again, the same scenario, trying to get more people to join it. But I think it's unlikely that that will happen.
Councillor
There's just also the prospect to second people onto the committee. Second non-councillors.
So do you need to add that?
But they have no vote.
Does that need to be added? Because you haven't got that down here.
They can't vote, so they're only sort of.
Yeah, I'm going to say you can't second. You talk about co-option.
Co-option.
Yeah, no, because they won't have voting rights. So I think what you need to do is, if you didn't have quorum, you obviously then need to go to the councillors that haven't agreed to be on that committee and seek further. But I say I don't think that's very likely because there are 16 councillors. And the most you've got on a committee is 9, so it's not very likely you're not going to have 9 with 16 councillors to choose from.
Yeah, we've had this before, haven't we? We're not quorum, and then so we haven't had the meeting, but then we have said you can get people to substitute for you, and please let the town clerk know.
Yeah.
The only things they can
Yeah,
substitute
you
to make the
That's
committee
correct.
quorum, but they can't vote.
Yeah, that's correct. We can do that.
Yeah, no, substitution is a different thing, and you're certainly right. You can do that.
Yeah, you
in
can do
certain
that. Yeah.
circumstances.
They do that at Dover District
Yeah.
Council.
Yeah.
So, Councillor Wiles.
Yeah, I believe this year the town clerk sent out an email about a week or so before the annual town meeting saying how many nominations have been received.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with Councillor Franklin, deal with it that way informally. Just send an email out saying we've had 5 for Heritage and Townscape, and we need another 4. Please put your name forward. And then hope for the best.
So are we keeping 4 as it is, or are we changing that to what you've just said?
But that's the suggestion, as it is on the flow chart. Too few.
No. See, this is what I'm saying. We've got to have concrete rules going forward. This has got to be, you're changing the rules of the council. You're taking it into your hands. You've got to have this 100% right, because come next year, the town clerk and I won't be assisting with this. So you've got to get this 100% right. Councillor Black?
Well, I think if people believe it is very unlikely you'll be in that situation, my suggestion would be you have to look at it. If it's not quorum, you can't really have the meeting until you've got more people. But you really do go to the first bit, which is it's quorum but not enough. You're still trying to attract more people. I'm trying to cover the event of this situation where really it's not there now. Councillor Franklin says the committees have been here forever and a day. I bow to his experience on that one. But it would be a bit surprising if there was consistently insufficient people for a quorum, and then you think, why are we having this committee? But if it doesn't happen and it's only 3 committees, then just stick with item 2, which is if you call it, you can have a meeting. If you're not called it, you can't have a meeting until you get more bodies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm happy to change my proposal to that if that will make things move forward.
So should we striking that out? 4?
I'm going to say, so I
Should
don't.
we take number 4 out now? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Okay.
Okay. So So all those in favour of taking number 4 out, please show. Thank you. Okay, that's passed. Okay. Number 5, does STC wish to adopt the proposals for councillors to vote on membership in scenario 3, or does STC wish to leave the decision to the executive? Councillor Black?
Well, in essence, you've already decided that with item 1 that you've made very clearly a majority statement.
That's correct.
So that's not the issue. Then the real issue is now, how will you vote? And I think there are 3 ways to do it. There's one way is a show of hands, and that's going to be a long time in any meeting, and I'm trying to avoid that. And also it's a bit embarrassing if you're the person sitting there and you see you're getting 0 votes. That's no prize, not going to be the best of ways. Or you could try it with a little sort of a ballot slips, but again, that's going to take a lot of time at the meeting, and I'm trying to avoid that. That's why I've suggested, if you look over the page, you've got a matrix here, which sort of allows the town clerk to send this out perhaps 2 to 3 weeks in advance to see what the situation is, and councillors can vote on that. How many people? And I've given you a completely worked example that in this case, there are 2 councillors too many. A vote is held, sent back to the town clerk, because each one of us just can email it back to the town clerk and say, right, so this is where 2 people actually fell off the end because they didn't get enough votes. So I'm trying to speed this up so that at the actual meeting, I don't disagree with Councillor Franklin, at the meeting you want to be able to say, right folks, these are the people on Committee A, Committee B and Committee C. This maybe takes 1 week longer than what actually happened this week, this year.
But that's what we've got already, Councillor Black. We've already got a spreadsheet going out. The
Yes,
town-
but not
town
voting on
clerk's
it.
spreading this.
But not voting on it. That's the difference. Only a problem where you have too many people. And this year we changed the terms of reference for 2. Personally, I think that is not sustainable, which you could end up 13, 14, 15 people on a committee. Well, why bother the town council if you've got that number on the committee?
Councillor Wiles?
I think, again, we need to just simplify this. It's becoming too complex. This year we had exactly the number of candidates for committees. There was no vote, no requirement to get more people or strike people off. A council goes through a cycle, you get lots of enthusiasm in the first year or 2 and then it eases
I
off.
agree.
So I can't see a scenario in future years where we're going to have more candidates than committee members. So the voting will be a rarity, and I propose it be done by a show of hands. Keep it simple.
Okay. So what are you saying that we do with item number 5 then? Because that's...
But if in a scenario where there's more applicants than committee members, at the annual town council meeting we vote by show of hands for each candidate in turn.
So, and how would you do that for because if you had too many, are you going to vote for certain candidates?
You'd have to vote for all, wouldn't you? You'd have to go through it, you know.
Exactly.
Alphabetical
That's
order,
what I mean.
you know.
That's what I mean.
How many people are voting for A,
for Councillor
That's
Black? How
why I
many
think
people are
that'll take a lot
voting
of
for
time.
Councillor Wiles?
Each councillor has 9 votes. Simple. Or 8 votes if they're one of the applicants.
Okay. Councillor Fortescue, please stand.
Will the number of candidates for committees be announced at the same time? I mean, I can imagine a scenario in which there are too many applicants for one committee and not enough applicants for another committee.
Indeed. That's
If it was announced that there were 15 candidates for Committee A and only 2 candidates for Committee B, then some of the candidates for Committee A might decide, well, actually, since there are so many vacancies on Committee B, perhaps I would rather apply for a position in Committee B rather than a place on Committee A.
That's personal preference, isn't it, really? So if it was transport and you weren't interested in transport, you wouldn't join The Transport Committee, I don't think.
No.
I think that comes down to personal preference, actually. Oh, sorry, Councillor
Yeah.
Franklin
And I
and then
think
Councillor...
it'd work in the after, but I don't think it's going to work on an election year at all, you know, because you've only got 3 days to sort out the committees out under these new rules. So every 4 years, this system won't work at all, will it? We've got election on a Thursday,
Yeah.
and then you've got Friday, and then and then the meeting's on Monday. It's only on the.
I'm
it's
totally not bothered. If I'm not going to be
No,
mayor
no,
next year,
I don't think it's going
I
to
don't
work. That's why I
care.
said to
so I don't care what you get yourselves into next
Yeah.
year. It's your
you know, older, I think.
I don't care. So Councillor Anderson.
Yes, I just want to go back to this business of how we vote. I personally am very against show of hands.
Indeed,
I
yeah.
find it embarrassing.
Exactly, I agree.
And it's potentially humiliating.
It
And I
is,
would
yeah.
much prefer that we worked out some quick way of doing it on paper. Maybe people write down their preferred number of candidates, say for the Human Resources Committee, if there are 7 people who put themselves forward, they write down the 5 that they want. I don't know, I'm sure we can apply our minds to this issue between now and next year.
Yeah.
And think about it, a quick and simple way of doing this on paper rather than a show.
So with item number 5, what are we doing with item 5 then? Is that going ahead, or can somebody say what you're doing with item number 5? I don't know. Do you want item 5, or from what Councillor Anderson said, we're perhaps going to decide on something else?
Yeah, make the point that that is precisely why it's on a piece of paper and it's secret, which to me is a vital ingredient, because you send this you send your votes into the town clerk, who can very rapidly see where there's a problem or where there isn't a problem. If there is a problem, then you can very quickly have a single vote handled by email, and then at the meeting you can say, right, this is the situation now. In this case, Pike and Fraser fell off because they didn't get sufficient votes. That's what we're trying to do with this system. I know it's a different system, but it's actually a very quick system.
Councillor Morehouse, did you?
Councillor Clark's put that forward as a proposal. Happy to second.
Okay, so and that proposal is to
Use the matrix.
continue with item 5?
Yeah, and use the matrix.
Okay, the same as we've got now, yeah.
Well, no, this matrix here, it is slightly different. This allows people to vote on it. Our previous one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not interested. Those in favour of item number 5, please put your hands up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Those abstaining, please put your hands up. 2. And those against, please put your hands up. 2.
Oh, 2,
Against, Councillor Wiles and Councillor Franklin. Okay, that item's passed. And item number 6 is what voting system should the council adopt?
That's what we've just done.
Yes.
Now, I was on item number 5,
The two align into each other.
so why did you put it as 2 items then?
Because I was trying
You've
to
got
make
5
it-
and 6. So.
Then you can vote on it again, but I'm still going to say it's the same thing.
Well, okay, so we're striking out item number 6 because it goes into number
We
5.
have a decision.
So, okay. Right, so are you clear about?
Yeah, no,
Okay, that's super.
We haven't actually decided on the vote. Well, I feel strongly we should have a secret ballot. So it'll be on.
Matrix, yeah.
Right, item number 6 is public participation, and this is a 20-minute session which is set aside for members of the public to make representations at the meeting in respect of business on the agenda and other matters if time permits. Individual representations should not exceed 5 minutes. Written notice of the desire to exercise the right to speak, together with the topic to be addressed, must be given to the town clerk prior to noon on the day of the meeting. Town clerk, do we have that?
no request, Mr Mayor.
Thank you very much. Item number 7, verbal and/or written reports from Dover District Councillors on matters relating to Sandwich, attachment 3. And hopefully you have all seen we have a report from Councillor Friend and we have a report from Councillor Morehouse. I won't be asking them to stand and read out their reports, so hopefully you've read those. I'd just like to thank both Councillor Friend and Councillor Morehouse for taking the time to put those reports to this council. Thank you very much. Item number 8 is verbal and or written reports from Kent County Councillor on matters relating to sandwich. This is attachment number 4.
Mayor,
Oh, indeed.
Two things. Firstly, could we have some windows open? It's extremely stuffy in here.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
Coughing and
It's your decision. Yeah.
you might be able to do it better than me. Don't mind.
Mr Mayor, while we're,
They do, they're really
this
stiff.
issue, I just wondered if it might be possible to ask Councillor Morehouse a question about his report. I know we passed on.
Right. I guess so. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we can.
the written report was the annual report.
Yeah.
I have some further updates to share tonight.
Oh,
that are
really?
not
I
part of
wanted
the
to
report.
ask you about your annual report.
Hmm.
Is that all right?
Oh, indeed. Yeah, please do. So.
I just wanted to ask you, sorry, if I found this data that you produced extremely interesting about increases and so on, and I just wanted to clarify exactly when Dover District Council was a Conservative council and when it was a Labour council, because I know it's changed every now and then, hasn't it?
Between 2003 and 2009, it was no overall majority.
Right.
It wasn't a Labour council.
Okay.
Between 2007 and 2023, it was a Conservative council.
Okay, so from the start of your data on, for example, council house rent increases, council tax increases and parking charge increases,
That's all
it
I've
was conservative throughout until 24-25.
until 2023.
23-24, when it became a Labour administration.
But the budget setting was obviously done under the previous regime
Which was the Conservative.
prior to the elections.
Yes, so the one sort of pure Labour year
Is
24-25.
yes.
Okay, thank you, that's all right.
Councillor Morehouse, I didn't understand because you submitted a written report. I didn't realise you were going to give a verbal
I
report.
submitted a written report as I was asked to as an annual report,
Yeah.
but I have further updates on matters.
Could I just
Relating
ask
to
you to
some-
be very, very concise, because unfortunately I've got a very ill town clerk here and I'm trying to get her back to her bed as soon as possible. She shouldn't actually be here tonight,
Right.
but there isn't anybody else to
First of
clerk the meeting.
So very quickly. First of all, on planning application 24/00068, 6 St Peter Street, I'm informed by the planning officer that that will be heard at a planning committee on the sometime in June, and I'm quite happy to attend that meeting and speak against the proposal. Secondly, referring to planning application (23) /01437 12 Britannia Terrace. I pointed out at one of the previous meetings, I think it was the last meeting, about the wall that was demolished and rebuilt for the rear extension. That has now been noted on amended plans and will be re-advertised. Concerning number 57 New Street, when I announced at the last council, full Sandwich Town Council meeting, that I had contact from the senior enforcement officer, at around about the same time, magically, was this Harris fencing appearing. And we're all aware of what's happened in the past with a little bit of window dressing to try and kick the can down the road. I am assured that the enforcement that is due to take place is still happening, and that if that is an attempt at window dressing, it has failed miserably, I'm pleased to say. And finally, I referred to issues with the Montague estate between St Bart's Road and Winsborough Road, particularly in relation to street signage, which was incorrect and could potentially cause problems for emergency services, and obviously would cause problems for any deliveries. I'm pleased to say that those signs have been replaced. I'm not so pleased to say that the signs that they've been replaced with are too small for the frames, and they are currently being secured with nylon cable ties. So I put in a separate request now for that signage to be replaced with the correct size of signs.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Item number 8, further one, written report from Kent County Councillor on matters relating to Sandwich, and this is attachment number 4. We don't have the County Councillor here tonight, so it will be as per the report submitted. Item number 9, report from local police representative and community warden for Sandwich, to receive reports from local police representative and or community warden Peter Gill if available.
No, they're not available this
No
evening.
reports are
No
available.
reports.
Item number 10, updates from councillors, to receive and note verbal updates from councillors on meetings that have attended as nominated representatives of the council. Item number 11, financial information, to receive and note the Sandwich Town Council statement of accounts as at 30th of April 2024, income, expenditure and budget, and this is attachment number 5. Do we have any?
To note the report.
Thank you very much. Proposal to note the financial report. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Wiles. And all those in favour, please raise your hands. Thank you.
Just Councillor Morris. I don't think did you agree that one, Councillor Morris? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's unanimous, so that is passed. Thank you. Item number 12, publication scheme for Sandwich Town Council. Town Clerk is to share draft publication scheme for members to debate and consider adoption for STC. Decision is required on this. This is attachment 6 and attachment 6A and 6B. This is a requirement of the ICO. This will reduce bureaucracy in this council, and this will streamline things, because people won't be able to write in stupid FOIs and say, can you give me this, can you give me that, because it will be rubbish. Has anybody got any questions on attachment 7? Okay. Councillor Breen, please stand.
Thank you. I would just, I'm obviously in favour of the scheme, but when you look into it, the scheme actually calls for the council to do a lot of work to publish information about its fees, about how the documentation is going to be accessed and so forth. So by adopting this, it's going to put a lot of work onto the town clerk to come up with the supporting documents to be able to implement this. And so I'd like to ask the town clerk when you think you would be able to produce those documents, please.
So a lot of them are already there. I've got to obviously upload them to the website. So it's my intention that the majority of this will be on the website. Anything that's not on the website, there will be hard copies in the Guildhall. So it's something I've got to do in the next 2 weeks. I've got to have it all on the website.
You've got to have it on the website, but
Yeah.
surely the council is going to have to agree what fees you charge and so forth.
So
Because that's what it's saying here. We need to produce, the scheme commits the authority, our council here, to produce and publish the methods by which to make this publication scheme available to the public. And what does it say about fees? There's one of them, to produce a schedule of any fees charged.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually very straightforward. It's not complicated. It's if you are saying an excessive amount of officer time is needed to, like freedom of information. It's not something that I would necessarily see us having to make any charges, only if someone was wanting maybe, I don't know, to go back 10 or 15 years in our archived records, and it would mean an officer having to spend hours and hours. That's the sort of time when there would be a fee. But most of this information is already available. It's not all on the new website yet.
Well, at some stage, maybe you'll come to the Finance and General Purposes Committee to demonstrate how all of this is enacted when you have all of the documentation compiled and so forth.
Yeah, happy to.
I don't think it's that complex.
No, I don't think.
I did this for Canterbury City Council when it came in, publications, and it was literally done within 2 weeks. You can, it's as simple as putting the URLs onto the website. If you've got the policy already, it's as simple as that.
Right.
It's what it says, it's a publication
But we
scheme.
commit to specifying the information which is held, so is there going to be a list, a schedule of all of the information?
So it'll be things that are already on this draft that I've prepared for you. Things like
That's what you're voting on.
yeah, that's what we're voting on. So
You're voting on this draft, not the ICO recommendations.
But the draft is pretty much a copy of the ICO thing, isn't it?
yeah, because you need to use the same.
Yeah.
But there isn't. I haven't included anything that we haven't actually got already. So you'll see there it says financial regulations, finance reports, grants and donations, public rights, statement of internal control, annual risk assessment, the town council strategy, which is our budget, the community emergency plan. We've already got one of those. It's just not on the website. How we make decisions, agendas, minutes, meeting timetable. That's all on the website. So, and these policies are the ones we've already got: standing orders, terms of reference, code of conduct, data protection policy, loan working
I don't
policy.
think you have to read it.
No,
all out.
but I'm saying that all information.
Councillor Breen can get further information from the ICO. This is very straightforward. This is are we going to publish based on the town clerk's draft, which is based on the ICO best policy model? Are we going to go ahead with that or not? That's all it is. And the detail can be determined later if there is any detail to work out. The ICO even publish prospective charges if you are going to charge for this. So all the recommendations around FOIs and all the other specific environmental requests of information, all that are all on the ICO website. So you can even put, as I did at Canterbury Council, you can put please refer, and you put the URL underneath and click on the URL. Guess where it takes you? ICO. Saves you a lot of time. So
I don't think we should overcomplicate this. I think we should adopt the draft recommendation.
Thank you very much for that proposal. Councillor Mallet?
Yes, I'd just like to reaffirm I'm totally 100% behind this. It will also be useful for us. Because whenever I want to find something, I know where to go.
You know where to find it. Yeah. So were you prepared to second that?
Yeah, well, definitely.
Thank you very much. Okay. And all those in favour of adopting this, you can vote against it if you're not happy with it.
I'm happy with it. It's just my reading of it says there's a lot of supporting information that this council has got to provide, and I will follow that up on this because if we are charging fees, I think we as a council need to approve those fees.
It's not my intention to be charging any fees. I don't foresee that at all, because this is information that's all readily available.
We're committing to publish the fees if we adopt this thing. I'm all for adopting it. It's just we need to see it through.
Yeah, I'm not proposing any fees. That is not part of my draft publication scheme.
Well, then we need to say that. And it needs to be approved by the council that we're not proposing.
So, proposer, we're going to be dropping the thing for proposing fees on this. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I
And
think, yeah,
second.
it's a draft recommendation.
Okay then. So all those in favour of the draft, but not including adopting the fees, please show with your hands now. Please. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. So, item number.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I just
Oh,
wanted to
indeed,
say
please carry on.
that the Appendix 1 was just an example for you to see what the ICO recommend. I wasn't referring to this at all. This was the draft document, so this has
That's
got
right.
nothing to do with fees in it at all.
No, it's got no fees in that.
Yeah, just to be clear.
Item number 13, we've already done. Item number 14, draft parish charter, DDC and local councils. Members to receive a report from the town clerk that details a proposed parish charter which has been jointly agreed by DDC and local councils through CALC. Members are invited to debate the proposal and feedback, comments and views. Decision required, and this is attachments 8A and 8B. I would like to propose from the chair that we adopt this unless anybody has any really bad questions or other queries on this matter.
No, I'd like to second that. Isn't it?
Okay, thank you very much. If anybody hasn't got any questions or queries, I'll go to the vote. All those in favour of adopting this parish charter, which will assist us, thank you very much.
Councillor Tomlins, don't you choose?
Oh, were you abstaining, Councillor?
Sorry,
Okay.
that's really bad.
That's good.
I'm voting for, thank you.
Item number 15, date for annual town council meeting 2025. Town clerk to share a report with the proposed date for the annual town council meeting for 2025 to be held on Thursday the 8th of May 2025. A decision is required. This is attachment number 9. It is just simply to agree the date. If you're not happy with the date, then we can change it. It's just to agree the date. Does everybody understand? Yeah. So could I have a proposer and seconder, please?
Just a comment.
Indeed, please stand.
8th of May 2025, we're very close to VE Day celebrations, which I believe
Is
is
that
the
a problem?
7th of May. If it's a problem.
Okay, could you explain why that'd be a problem?
It might well not be a problem, but if there are moves to have a particular celebration of it in Sandwich, and do we work around the annual town meeting, or do we work around the day?
Yeah.
You can make it a week later if you want to.
Yeah, well, I did say that earlier. Do you want to propose a different date, Councillor Mallet? Then?
15th.
Yes,
It's
15.
15th, okay then. So a date of the 15th of May has been proposed. I probably won't be there because it's Daniel's birthday. Do we have a seconder for the 15th of May? Well, that's Councillor Fortescue. And all those in favour, please show your hands. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Item number 16, outside bodies representation. Town clerk to share a slate for the STC representatives on outside bodies. Members are invited to consider if they wish to remain on the same appointments or if you wish to change, if you don't want to do them at all. This is attachment number 10. So this is for you to decide. Councillor Anderson, I think you were first.
I am on one, but as far as I'm concerned, it's never invited me to attend a meeting.
Oh, sure.
So I imagine that there are numbers of organisations here that don't remember us or don't meet.
No,
And others that I know are very busy
indeed.
and do meet a lot. So
Which
it's
one?
a somewhat unbalanced,
Yeah.
unless we know which ones are active, it's quite difficult.
Mm. Which was the one that didn't invite you?
Sandwich dementia.
Oh.
It's the only one I'm on.
Yeah.
And I've not heard from them at all.
I can follow that up.
Yeah, fill that up. So, this,
Can I say that I've had the same experience? I'm on 2, the public rights of way and the waterways, and I've done nothing. I've not been in touch with anybody. Nothing's happened over here.
Oh, go back to that one. Public rights of way is Kent County Council
It
Committee,
is.
so there's a local officer, so that's down to Kent County. It's nothing to do with Sandwich, it covers the whole of Kent and this area. So So if you've got problems with a footpath, you deal directly with the officer. I think they're based in Dover, aren't they? So it's a Kent County Council committee, the public rights of way one.
Yeah.
The footpaths, it's not a town council committee.
So that's,
Yeah.
I've got, so we've got that
Yeah,
one.
and the
Okay.
Dove Street.
So we've noted those ones. Councillor Wiles, please. Stan.
Sorry, Sandwich United Charities seems to be omitted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes, because last year, obviously, there was a complaint submitted to the Charity Commission. Charity Commission sent back some guidance to the Sandwich United Charity, and the guidance was obviously shared with them. I don't know what the outcome was, but basically the constitution for Sandwich United Charities has been changed, that they don't accept outside trustees. So I have obviously chased the secretary of the Sandwich United Charity for an update, because there is a letter that's expected, and until we have clarification from Sandwich United Charity, I didn't see the point in us pursuing to have a representatives appointed if it is the case that the constitution's been amended and they no longer accept outside trustee. So I'm waiting for an update on that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Miss, I think they changed their constitution without us knowing. This is one of the oldest things, you know, the St Bart's Hospital. It's always been run by the mayor and the town council, isn't it? I'm not quite sure how long the charity status has been, and I think they've changed the status personally without notifying us. Because we've always had two representatives on that.
The reply did state that.
Yeah, but
They changed their
I don't
constitution.
think that was. I don't think it was correct at all.
Excuse me, I understood that they sent in a reply to say that the councillors who had been nominated for a 4-year term, and some of them were due to step down.
Yeah.
You know, in such a period of time, I can't remember, and I was looking for the documentation about that, but it was my understanding that those previous councillors who are now trustees of Sandwich United Charities, when they went on, were due to step down after a certain period of time.
Yeah.
But they have not stepped down.
No.
Even when they've exceeded their term of office, they haven't stepped down. So I know 2 incidences of that. Councillor Wiles?
I just think with that charity, it's rather, I'm not sure if I should use the word shocking, but that a local charity with assets in the town that's there to meet the needs of poor people in this town, with 2 million in the bank, has no oversight or regulation from any local body, and that it seems to be a self-electing.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Close shot, isn't it?
Yeah. So, apart from the amendments that have been raised, is everybody happy with the outside bodies? Councillor Breen, please.
Sorry, can I just say, I saw under the Heritage and Townscape report about a Sandwich Business Compass group, you know, which seemed to be a very proactive group and had come up with a map for the town and
That's
website
correct.
and QR
That's correct,
codes
yeah,
and stuff like that. So surely the council should be appointing somebody to liaise with a group
No.
like that, shouldn't we?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Sandwich Compass Group have said, and we know the leader of it, Claire, a love lady, they don't want a formal committee. So they don't want, she has actually said that on 2 occasions, she doesn't want a formal committee and they don't want people appointed to it to co-opt, so that's their choice. They want to be very informal, they want to just do things when they want to do them, and they don't want people chasing them if something's not done. So it's a very informal organisation. They've set it up, they're not using any public funds, so there's absolutely no reason that we should say, but I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does, but it also triggers the question, if there are new outside bodies coming along, you know, that we should be proactive in trying to help them, assist them and be involved if
Indeed.
necessary.
Indeed, we would, and if they used public funds in any way, or they were regulated by the government or local government, then we would insist that representatives had to be on those. But with the particular one that you've said, they aren't interested. They don't even have committee meetings. It's okay. So are you proposing the
We are just concerned about these outside bodies. We only go when they invite a council to be
Indeed,
on.
that's correct.
So we don't need to be in there. But if they ask us to join in to help them with their fundraising, that's where
That's
where it
correct,
comes
yeah.
from. My invitation.
So was that a proposal, Councillor Franklin, to adopt this document?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Could I have a seconder, please? And that's Councillor Tomlins. And all those in favour, please raise your hand, please. Thank you, and that's unanimous. Item 17, date of next full council meeting is Monday the 24th of June 2024.